Hi everyone. So for my Unit 1 discussion, I decided for my 3 terms to use social construction, ideology, and colonialism. I'm going to keep looking at my little notepad over here because I wrote a bunch of stuff down so I wouldn't get off track and so that we're not here for a really, really long time. So, social construction to me means that the things that we see as quote-unquote normal or natural are actually created by people and turned into societal norms. Like mentioned in our lectures, racism is not a biological fact, but it is something that is given meaning to by people over time, and it has shaped how we see and treat people. I know, especially in the US, racism still affects where people live, the jobs that they get, and how they are viewed. So, prior to taking this class, I had the belief that racism was something that naturally came to people, that we had naturally as humans. So, gaining this understanding of social construction has really given me the understanding of how racism isn't natural, but it's a social choice that can be changed. So, that's number 1. Next, ideology. Ideology is basically a system of beliefs or ideas that shape how people see the world. So pretty much the stories that we tell, the history that we pass on to generations is the stories that we tell to make certain systems or inequalities seem normal. So for example, the glamorous concept of the American dream. It sounds so inspiring and put into big golden lights, and it's just this idea of, it highlights the idea of anyone can succeed if they work hard, but it totally neglects that every person that comes fighting for this American dream all come from different backgrounds, all face different struggles based on their race, social class, gender, that make it harder for them to succeed. So yes, it's the golden American dream, but it's not always the same for everybody, especially because everybody comes from different backgrounds. So recognizing ideology helps us to question these messages, such as the American dream, and think about who they really benefit. So finally, we have colonialism. Colonialism is when one group takes over another group, their land, people, and resources, oftentimes by force. So the US is obviously the main example that we know of this. It was built on it was built through colonialization. So the native lands were taken and enslaved Africans were forced to build our economy. This history still shapes to this day who holds power and wealth, aka white supremacy. So I think colonialism, I feel, is like apparent in every I'm pretty sure in a big part of what we'll be talking about in this class. So I felt like it was good to incorporate in there. So final question to finish my discussion here. How do you see the effects of ideology, social construction, and colonialism showing up in everyday American life, whether it be through media, education, and the way that people are treated now? Yeah, that's all I have, guys. Bye.